To achieve the best outcomes, both in our present and future circumstances, we must develop constructive and progressive thinking. Hi there, I'm Audrey Williams, and we're happy you've joined us for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Coming up on the pages, we'll get the facts on applying for a Jamaican passport. Plus, highlights of this year's emancipation and independence celebrations. Still to come, a valuable partnership that's improving Jamaica's agricultural competitiveness in the global economy. Sit back and relax as we'll inform and entertain you after these messages.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is committed to ensuring that every Jamaican child has the best learning environment to thrive and needs your cooperation to make the education system work successfully.
What are the school's voluntary contributions for?
Co-curricular and sports activities and school development.
What amount are parents to contribute?
Your contributions are voluntary and the amount depends on the type of programs being offered by the school.
If my child is being denied access to school, can I complain to the ministry?
Yes. You can call or visit any of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's 6 regional offices or send an email to complaints@moey.gov.jm.
What support is there for PATH students?
PATH students are not expected to make contributions and are to be provided with 5 days free lunch as of this year.
Parents and guardians, do continue to make your voluntary financial contributions to your children's school. The institutions need your assistance for their school development and sporting activities. Remember, every child can learn. Every child must learn.
The passport is a critical document if you're looking to travel outside your own country. It's also useful in other transactions. So let's get the facts on applying for this crucial piece of identification.
Your passport is a secure travel document used to show proof of identity and citizenship, most often during international travel. The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, is the entity responsible for issuing the Jamaican passport. Application forms are available from PICA's offices or its website, as well as the regional headquarters of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the offices of Jamaica's foreign missions abroad. Adults living in Jamaica who are applying for a passport for the first time must appear in person either at the head office of the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency or to an immigration officer stationed in the police divisional headquarters in each parish. These first-time adult applicants are required to submit a completed and certified application form. They also need a valid photo ID and 2 passport-sized photographs, one of which must be certified. Other documents required include a birth certificate and, if necessary, an adoption register, certificate of citizenship, and marriage certificate. And yes, there's an application fee that must be paid. When an application for a passport is being made for a minor, one of the parents or a legal guardian is required to complete the application form. The legal guardian must also present the letter from the court conferring guardianship on him or her. Meanwhile, persons acting on behalf of parents who are overseas need a letter of authorization from the parent and a copy of the parent's passport or valid photo ID. Children 3 years of age and over are required to appear in person with their parent or guardian for all applications. And in making the application, the following documents must be submitted: a certified application form, 2 passport-sized photographs, birth certificate, adoption register, certificate of citizenship, and the parent's ID. Here again, an application fee is required. Your passport needs to be renewed if it has expired. There are no more pages in it for visas or if you have changed your name. Your current passport and a certified application form must be submitted in order to renew the passport. All the documents required for first-time applicants must also be submitted for renewal. Once these documents are submitted to PICA and the required application fees paid, you should receive a receipt and your application will be processed by the agency. Processing takes 7 working days for applications made through the Kingston office and 14 working days for applications made through the Montego Bay office, after which you should receive your new passport. When collecting your passport, you must present the receipt you were issued when the application was made. If someone is collecting on behalf of another person, he or she must provide a signed letter of authorization from the applicant and a copy of the applicant's ID, along with the receipt issued when the application was made. For additional information, visit the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency offices in Kingston or Montego Bay. They can also be reached by telephone. Or you can send an email to citizenship@pica.gov.jm or visit pica.gov.jm.
Stop! Don't turn a blind eye to child abuse, child neglect, and child labor. If you know or even suspect child abuse, call the Children's Registry. Together, we can make a difference.
The 2016 Emancipation Independence celebrations is now a thing of the past, but for many the significance and euphoria are still present. If, like me, you're not quite ready to leave Jamaica 54 behind, we have the entertaining highlights.
Nothing could stop the festivity experienced by patrons at this year's National Emancipation and Independence celebratory events. On the final celebratory night was the Miss Jamaica Festival Queen competition. Miss St. James, Kaisha Randall, walked away with the winning crown. And when asked why she entered the competition, she had this to say.
Women empowerment and using this platform to kind of just empower young people, not just women, but boys as well, and to crack that glass ceiling some more for women to step out of their comfort zone. It's a platform to be a cultural ambassador for your country, and I think this is the most amazing place to get it done.
And as customary on Independence Day, the National Stadium was a sea of black, green and gold as patriotic patrons came out for the grand gala. Over 1,000 performers participated, and boy did they put on a show. Reggae made the top of the agenda for days 6 and 7 as the Randy Williams Entertainment Center was a packed venue with numerous reggae fans who came to support the World Reggae Dance Championships and Reggae to Rio concert. And those in attendance truly had a blast. And then there was Mellow Go Round. As usual, a wide range of cultural performances were on display to suit the tastes of everyone present. The week of events started off with a national Thanksgiving service and an evening of praise at the Gospel Song Competition Finals.
I don't know about you, but one thing I do know is that when the praises go up, the blessings must come down. Marsha, Jarrett, send up the praise. Sending up the praise. Sending up the praise. The winning song.
I was going through a situation for over 10 years, an illness that the doctors could not find a cure for, even when I traveled. And I just decided one night that I would just get up and be radical about it and just decide that no more. I'm just going to praise God no matter what.
I have watched all of these performers grow from just persons who walked in with a little track or with a song, with a keyboard, and I mean, it's been an amazing journey.
Jamaica is like a seabed of talent, no matter which field you go into, especially singing. When you listen to young people and sing, man, you realize we are not ordinary type of people because, you know, talent is like in every one of us.
Let's talk some more about singing. A few weeks before the August 1 start of the celebrations was the festival song competition. O'Neil Scott, more popularly known as Nazaman, walked away the winner with his patriotic entry, No Way Like Jamaica.
We don't love no way like Jamaica. Because no one is sweet like Jamaica. Oh, because I will not leave sweet Jamaica, end up in a foreign land. Things we achieve, so we blessed by the Father, mighty, mighty, mighty.
The reports that we are getting is that right across Jamaica, in all parishes, the events have been tremendously successful. We had a little itch, as you know, with the threat of the storm, but we're able to pull things back together within 2 days, and I'm very, very satisfied that we have once again delivered to Jamaica.
But it would not be possible without dedicated patrons who offer their support year after year after year.
There is a lot of talented young persons in today's societies, and this competition is one of the ways to let their talent show. I would tell all Jamaicans to come support all of these events because it's really important.
I think that is very important, especially for the younger generation, to keep in touch with the culture and how great Jamaica is.
It shows that things has developed tremendously, and this is what we really need in this country.
It is a wonderful feeling that we have been able to ensure that for Jamaica 54, we have embraced the entire island. The JCDC is doing a wonderful job, and I just want to say that moving from Jamaica 54 into Jamaica 55 is going to be awesome.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Small and medium-sized farmers who once couldn't access and provide a consistent supply of produce to the local and international markets are gaining capacity to do that under the Agricultural Competitiveness Program. Find out more on this development next.
Jamaica's small and medium-sized farmers producing in quantities at standards that effectively penetrate national and international markets. That is the emerging reality through the help of the Agricultural Competitiveness Program ACP, which was conceptualized in 2010. This 5-year program, financed at a cost of $15 million by the Inter-American Development Bank, got off the ground in 2013 and is to be completed in May 2017.
Overall objective is to increase the competitiveness in the agriculture sector. This is envisioned through the implementation of 3 components. 1, looking at farm to market linkages. 2, looking at food safety management systems, specifically in the area of animal health, plant health, and food safety. And 3, looking at agribusiness value chain development.
But how can the over 220 small farmers in Jamaica, operating predominantly on small plots of land, produce consistently at a high level of efficiency to supply the markets?
One of the first priorities is how to cluster these farmers and build their capacities to produce in group, because they're really small players, and build their capacity to work in groups and link them directly to markets that they could not access on their own.
Getting to those goals also means providing resources and training for certification in good agricultural practices, objectives that are being realized through the establishment of agri-parks across the island.
What the agri-park intended to do and is now doing is to provide facilities, land with appropriate infrastructure, to ensure that we can carry out production on a sufficiently large scale to ensure sustained production for exports and import substitution.
Since 2013, the ACP has been helping to equip some 4 to 5 agri-parks with infrastructure such as drainage, proper farm roads, sanitary facilities, and marketing support, as well as extension services in collaboration with the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA. The National Irrigation Commission, in collaboration with the ACP, has been meeting its own mandate to the farmers.
We are improving the delivery of water to the farmers with the assistance of the ACP, and also improving how the farmers use this water that is delivered to them with the assistance of the ACP. In Ebony Park and New Forest, for instance, we are managing the project where we are installing new pumps to improve the delivery of water to the farmers in these areas. We also do routine training for farmers, but with the assistance of the ACP, we have increased the amount of farmers that we are able to train in terms of their management of the irrigation water that we provide. The farmers in all the areas that we have interacted with the ACP have seen increased production. Manchester has overtaken St. Elizabeth as the major producer of agricultural produce because of the improvement in the irrigation system that we have put in there. And also now with the assistance of the ACP, that development continues.
To date, the ACP has provided pickup trucks, desktop computers, laptops and tablets to various entities across the sector. Also, handheld GPS units and post-harvest kits were given to RADA and the Plant Quarantine and Veterinary Services Division in the Ministry of Investment, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, MICAF. Epidemiology training for personnel in the Plant Quarantine and Veterinary Services Division was carried out and the work continues. That includes the refurbishing of parish offices at the Veterinary Services Division in Portland and Hanover, as well as laboratories at Bodles and Plum Point. These labs are to be outfitted with equipment to be purchased at a cost of approximately $80 million. The Food Storage and Prevention of Infestation Division, FSPID, received laboratory equipment and training of staff, while the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NATES, in the Veterinary Services Division was provided with support to getting that program off the ground.
The provision of the cattle passport and the requisite equipment and material that they will need to tag all the animals and issue the passport. That is our role in terms of the provision of those items.
In train is the development of a network system linking food safety, plant health and animal health laboratories across the island. And manuals and publications on good agricultural practices and post-harvest handling are being prepared, while the food safety legislation has been enacted. An export market platform is being developed, which seeks to bridge the gap between producers in Jamaica and the export market, not just in the diaspora, but also in the mainstream overseas market in the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada.
We have been able to link those farmers producing on those agri-parks to the tourism sector, to exports, the export market, to large buyers, agri-processors and so on here in Jamaica.
The ACP has also helped to develop new industries such as the Beauregard sweet potato value chain development and build capacity to produce clean disease-free planting material for this new variety of sweet potato.
We have been able to forge working relationship with the private sector, notably JP and other farmers, to produce this this new sweet potato. And we have been able to find markets in Britain, which is the destination of some of that product.
They'll be able to export their crops over a long term to not just even UK, but we are also looking at US export market potential. We just last year, invited a set of US importers to Jamaica to visit the agri-parks, and they were very impressed with the results that they saw. And we should be exploring that opportunity even further.
That opportunity will be enhanced by an improved food safety and traceability system that is being bolstered through the ACP within MICAF, as well as other entities with responsibility for food safety. It's supporting work to have a number of facilities duly certified and accredited to international standard.
One of our key deliverables on the component 2 is the reduction of refusal at the point of entry in export markets, particularly in the United States of America and in the United Kingdom. So our produce going into those markets at the end of the program, one of the output is really to reduce the amount of refusal that we get from our partners on the other side.
The ACP projects not only look at how the farmers get their produce to market, but the processes used, the kind of quality management system that must be engaged, and the importance of keeping the records. The ACP team is well on its way to having 3 producer organizations established and legally registered, with support from the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Society by the end of the project. This will enable them to trade in the international space and facilitate benefits to be accrued from being a collective group. For example, benefits are to be derived from economies of scale when making group purchases. The upgrading of the Jamaica Agricultural Marketing Information System, JAMIS, is also part of the work done to link growers to real-time market information across the length and breadth of Jamaica.
I would say at this point we're 70% on the way. With respect to component 1, which looks at farm-to-market linkages, we are, at the end of the program, we are supposed to have a total of 2,675 contractual arrangements on the way. In component 2, with respect to the systems that ought to be in place and the global gap certification of the agro-parks, we have a timeline working with December of this year to get those parks certified, so we're on the way. With respect to all the persons that would have been identified for training, we have completed all the necessary training. With respect to the labs that we were to retrofit and get them certified, most of the labs who are not would have not have been completed already are more than 80% on the way. With component 3, the agro-parks operational, we have New Forest the Falls operational, we have Yalos operational, we also have Huron operational, even though we have not yet spent any funds with respect to infrastructure investment that is programmed for another loan. So we have that park operational. In Huron, we want to include the irrigation infrastructure to build out an additional 120 pond acres in the lower reaches of Huron. In the Spring Plain Agro Park, however, we would have been considered operational. We were to clear lands, over 300 acres of land that was already done. The road infrastructure we have already put in. The drainage infrastructure is already in. We have put in pump houses, pipes and fittings.
The ACP thanks all its partners for contributions made in developing the agricultural sector. The Agricultural Competitiveness Program, building capacity for sustained production and export, improving the competitiveness of the agricultural sector. Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, we run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Up next, top stories making news this week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. The tourism sector has raked in $1.3 billion in earnings for the first 6 months of this year. This is on the strength of the island welcoming a little over 2 million visitors between January and June, putting the country firmly on the path to welcoming 4 million visitors for 2016.
That puts us on track, especially when the preliminary numbers for July have shown the largest July in the history of tourism in Jamaica, where we brought in, without the Jamaican nationals or the diaspora, 211,000, which is a 4% increase over last year.
It is projects like BMR that continue to establish Jamaica as a clear renewables market leader within the Caribbean.
The Energy Minister was speaking at this week's opening of the 36-megawatt wind farm developed in St. Elizabeth by BMR Jamaica Limited. The $90 million investment will provide clean, reliable and affordable renewable energy to the national grid through a 20-year power purchase agreement with the Jamaica Public Service Company.
Today, I want to issue a challenge. If Jamaica commits to getting 50% of its energy from renewable sources by 2030, the United States government and our innovative private sector will be there to make that commitment a reality.
On Thursday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave assurance that government was paying keen attention to environmental concerns as it looks to finalize another major investment project.
China's Jinquan Iron and Steel Company, JISCO, is in the process of purchasing the Alpart Bauxite Company from UC Roussel, with plans to expand that acquisition into the development of an industrial zone in Nain, St. Elizabeth to include a coal-fired power plant, among other things. As it considers the proposal, Mr. Holness says the administration will balance its economic growth aspirations with environmental imperatives and international obligations. He is holding a series of consultative meetings with various stakeholders and has directed the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, to ensure that it has the requisite expertise to effectively assess, monitor and advise the government. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, has surpassed its revenue target for the first 4 months of the current fiscal year, earning just over $59 billion between April and July.
We exceeded the year-to-date target by 1%, or $0.447 billion. Compared to financial year 15-16, we would have brought in $52.99 billion, which would represent a change of $6.376 billion, or 10.7% over last year.
This week also saw the Jamaica Customs Agency commissioning a newly refurbished small boat to carry out surveillance within the ports.
I really want to commend this initiative. It is an important part of border security and protection of not just the revenue, but also protecting life and property.
The Finance Minister used the occasion to announce plans for acquiring additional maritime sea and aircraft within the next few months for the Jamaica Defence Force's deep sea border protection activities.
We're actually working on between 2 and 3 additional sea vessels for the JDF, and equally we are working on getting aircrafts, more than one, to be able to adequately patrol our borders.
Reacting to news that only 17 early childhood institutions had reached the quality assurance standards set by the Early Childhood Commission, Prime Minister Andrew Holness this week asserted that there would be no compromise on the educational standards set at the early childhood level.
I want the nation to be assured that there will be no compromise of the education standards that are set at the early childhood level. In fact, the small number that has achieved it shows our ambitions and aspirations, which we must not compromise. Our children deserve the best education possible.
Over 70 patent examiners have received training to improve the pace at which applications for patents are dealt with. The training was coordinated by the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office with financial support from the European Union.
The aim is to improve and increase the speed and efficiency at which institutions can generate new ideas, new products, new services and processes, and turn them into wealth.
And finally, Jamaica Dairy Development Board is partnering with milk producers to provide pregnant women with a weekly supply of fresh cow's milk. The project is also part of government's thrust to increase milk production in Jamaica and revitalize the dairy industry.
While it is recognized that there exists in the society a level of demand for milk, we think that this is not enough. And so it is the intention of the board to increase this demand.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
And this is where we take our leave on yet another enlightening edition of Jamaica Magazine. We value your feedback, so keep the link through our various social media platforms. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm and visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for the latest on government information. Until next time, I'm Audrey Williams, reminding you to take care of your health, eat well, exercise, get adequate rest, and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.